Ms. Bérenger.
B319.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As the House is aware, Section 49 of the Constitution provides that the official language of the Assembly shall be in English, but any member may address the Chair in French. Standing Order 5 of the Standing Orders and Rules of the National Assembly provides that the proceedings and debates of the Assembly shall be in English, in the English language, but a member may also address the Assembly in French. Madam Speaker, the introduction of Kreol Morisien in the National Assembly has been the subject of several parliamentary questions in the past. Furthermore, in the context of the International Day of Mother Tongue, Madam Speaker, you yourself announced that you would hold consultative meetings with a view to looking into the practical hurdles that needed to be cleared before introducing the use of Kreol Morisien into the National Assembly. I wish to inform the House that following the consultative meetings, a document has been submitted to me on the 12th of March of 2026. The report proposes a roadmap, a structured roadmap. Now we'll have to proceed in the following manner. The report will have, first of all, to be submitted to Cabinet. It hasn't been submitted to Cabinet yet. I will then propose a motion in the National Assembly for the setting up of a select committee that will now be tasked to submit a report to the House within a period of 3 months, so that there is no loss of time. The practical hurdles you mentioned in the report of the steering committee, they concern legal procedures, procedural, technical, and institutional conditions which are necessary before we introduce the Kreol Morisien in Parliament. The terms of reference of the Select Committee would be guided by the key actions contained in the report submitted by you, Madam Speaker, on the proposed introduction of Kreol Morisien in the National Assembly. Consultations between the National Assembly and the Attorney General's Office for the drafting of the introduction in the National Assembly of a proposed amendment to Section 49 of the Constitution for the introduction of Kreol Morisien in the National Assembly, and also a motion requiring notice for the amendment of Standing Order 5 of the Standing Orders and Rules of the National Assembly, to be accompanied by a draft of the proposed amendment, shall then be referred to the Standing Orders Committee, which shall submit after deliberations a report thereon, which shall be debated following a motion moved accordingly, and if when approved, Standing Order 5 then shall stand amended. Pursuant to Standing Order 77, prescription by Madam Speaker of the interim rules of governing the use of Kreol Morisien in the National Assembly during the pilot phase will include the scope and limitations of the use of Kreol Morisien in the proceedings of the National Assembly and of committees, the rules on language decorum, and the use of the English language as the language for administrative, judicial, and constitutional purposes.
Thank you. Yes.
Merci. À la lumière de sa réponse, l'honorable Premier ministre peut-il nous dire si son gouvernement soutient toujours sur le principe l'utilisation de notre langue nationale comme langue d'expression parlementaire?
Oui, définitivement. This is one of the things that I must say, Madam Speaker, in all fairness, I wasn't too sure that that was a good idea at the beginning. But the late Dave Virasomi convinced me why it was necessary. I must say that in all fairness. So then we started, I spoke to Dr. Arnaud Carpouran, and then I launched his Kreol Morisien dictionary at, I think it was the University of Mauritius in September 2011. Then the Mauritius Institute of Education has a department now dedicated to pedagogy and curriculum of the Kreol Morisien. In 2011, the state of Mauritius recognized an orthography for Kreol Morisien, and 2012, it was introduced in primary schools as an optional subject. Later on, it became at the secondary level as well, and the first exam for Kreol Morisien has been set at the school level, school certificate level. And also the anthology for Kreol Morisien has been published in February 2026, just to show that we are determined that this should be the case. Now, this is why I put a limit of 3 months, so that we can get on with it.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Yes.
L'honorable Premier ministre peut-il déposer le rapport soumis par la Speaker sur la table de l'Assemblée?
No, I intend to, but first I will circulate it to Cabinet. I think for the moment just myself and the former Deputy Prime Minister has it. We'll have to circulate to others, and then we will submit it to the National Assembly.
Yes?
Ok, dans ce cas, l'honorable Premier ministre a mentionné certains hurdles, mais ça reste très général. Il a mentionné des legal procedures. Peut-il, dans ce cas, préciser spécifiquement quelles conditions doivent encore être réunies avant que la réforme puisse être amenée et que les amendements aux standing orders et à la Constitution puissent être présentés? Quels sont spécifiquement ces
I don't
hurdles?
think there are unsurmountable hurdles that will delay. That's why I put a time limit of 3 months. But in the report, Madam Speaker, you mentioned these practical hurdles, which you say concerns legal procedures and then technical and institutional conditions which will be necessary. I don't think these are hurdles that are not going to take us time.
Yes?
Merci. On a eu le calendrier de 3 mois pour être présenté au Conseil des ministres, mais peut-on avoir...
No.
Pour que le Select Committee présente son rapport au Conseil des ministres. Peut-on savoir, dans la réalité, concrètement, quand est-ce que les amendements pourront être présentés à l'Assemblée pour la réforme de la Constitution et des
3
standing
months will
orders?
take us just after the budget. So after that, as soon as it's practicable, but there won't be no delay. That is why I put 3 months there. In your report, you suggested even up to 6 months, but I'll reduce it to 3 months, Madam Speaker.
Yes. I won't make any comments. All right, next question. Next question.
B320, merci.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Commissioner of Police that on the 5th of April 2026, at 22:15 hours, one Mr. J.L. of NHDC, Bon Espoir, phoned at the Piton police station requesting for police assistance. The 2 police officers immediately proceeded to the scene of the incident. Upon reaching there, they gathered preliminary information that one Mr. C.V. has been assaulted and the latter, who had been stabbed and bleeding profusely, had already been conveyed to SSRN Hospital by volunteers. The police officers then proceeded to SSRN Hospital to inquire about the victim and gathered further information thereof from Mr. VR. Later that night at Piton Police Station, the police recorded the declaration of Mr. VR to the effect that he has witnessed a case of assault by Mr. J.A.K.B. on Mr. C.V. at NHDC Bon Espoir Piton. On the same night, the police examined the spot of the incident to secure evidence and searched the weapon that was used to assault the victim. The police also initiated and maintained mobile patrol in the surrounding on the 5th and 6th of April 2026 to look out for the accused. On the 6th of April 2026, at 11:15 hours, the Piton police officers recorded the statement of the victim, Mr. C.V., at SSRN Hospital and issued a PF-58. The victim stated again the same thing, that Mr. J.A.K.B. had assaulted him and stolen his money. On the 8th of April 2026, Mr. J.A.K.B. was arrested and his statement was recorded. He was provisionally charged for the offense of larceny with wounding before the Rivière-du-Rempart District Court. The court granted him bail after the latter furnishing a surety of 1,000 rupees and 1,150 rupees as cost and entering into recognitions of 10,000 rupees with a condition to report daily at the Piton police station between 6 in the morning to 18:00 hours. His next court appearance is scheduled for 24th of June 2026. And the police is still in the process of recording statements from other witnesses.